guys ready? Okay, we are going to call this regular meeting of the Martin County School Board to order. If you would all please rise for the opening prayer by Reverend Julia Baginski of Unity Church in Jensen Beach, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Julia? Okay, so we will have a moment of silence and we will follow by the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Falls, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. DiTerlizzi?
Here.
Mrs. Roberts?
Here.
Mrs. Russell?
Here.
Mrs. Pritchett?
Here.
Mrs. Powers?
Here. Okay. Okay, now I need a motion to approve the agenda with the following items added, 9.05. The following items updated, 5.02, 5.03, 9.02, and the following item removed, 7.01.
Madam Chair, I move approval.
Second.
Move approval of the agenda as you noted.
Okay. I had a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi, a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, now I will turn it over to the superintendent, who will be the acting chair for our reorganization.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mrs. Powers for her leadership over the last couple of years on the board as our board chair. You have left the school district in those 2 years in a much better place than when you resumed the role, and we greatly appreciate your dedication and your work over those 2 years of service. Thank you. We'll now convene the reorganization meeting, election of the chair. At this time, I call for nominations for chair.
I nominate Jennifer Russell.
Second.
I have a nomination for Ms. Russell by Mike DiTerlizzi and a second by Mrs. Pritchett. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Seeing none, at this time, I call for nominations for vice chair.
I nominate Ms. Pritchett.
Second.
I have a nomination for Mrs. Pritchett by Mr. DiTerlizzi and a second by Mrs. Powers. Thank you. Any other nominations at this time? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes unanimously. Congratulations, Mrs. Russell, and congratulations, Mrs. Pritchett.
Thank you.
Item 3.03, to set the regular meeting dates and times. I call for a motion and a second to set the regular meeting dates. Do I have a motion for the third Tuesday of each month at 4 o'clock?
I do have one question. Did we need to move February 6th date? I know you guys were.
That's the
superintendent.
workshop.
Yes, so February 6th workshop, there is a conference that the executive leadership team is attending on the 7th in St. Petersburg. So we'll be needing to leave the night of the 6th. So the option to move the workshop to the 5th and or postpone to the following Tuesday would be the recommendation.
So the 5th, I know there is a DAC meeting scheduled already at 3:30. So I would say the following, the 13th, if that would be okay with everyone else.
I'm fine with that. Would you like a motion to that?
Motion to move the February 6th workshop to February 13th.
So be it. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Third Tuesday, other than the 13th, the third Tuesday of each month at 4 o'clock.
Motion to approve the third Tuesday of each month.
Second.
Okay, motion to approve by Mrs. Pritchett, seconded by Mrs. Powers. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Item 3.04, seek board's approval to direct the superintendent to file the proceedings of the reorganization with the Department of Education within 2 weeks to include the schedule for regular meetings and the names and addresses of all school district officers. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion to approve by Mrs. Powers, seconded by Mrs. Russell. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Maine,
Yes, sir.
I believe we skipped the other workshops, board meetings, and the trim meetings. Is that next on your list?
It is not. I had set the regular meeting dates and times for the third Tuesday of each month at 4.
Usually part of the calendar, but I didn't see the calendar on here.
Yeah, I think it's typically this meeting, we just set the dates for the regular meetings, and then we do separately the trim, and the workshops are not mandatory meetings of the board, so those are separate, kind of. I mean, I would be fine having the discussion about when we hold our workshops, obviously the first Tuesday of the month. If everyone is in agreement with that, I would support that.
Okay, so I had just going back for item 3.04, I had a motion by Mrs. Powers and a second by Mrs. Russell with no discussion. Motion to approve, carried 5-0. Mrs. Roberts?
Yes, so I would be in favor of the monthly workshops, including the trim meetings and the budget meetings, as listed on this school board meeting calendar that was given to us in advance, with that change from February 6th to February 13th. It has the correct trim dates with the correct gap pieces in them.
Okay.
Was that a motion?
Sure.
Second?
Sure.
Okay, motion by Mrs. Roberts with a second by Mr. DiTerlisi. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. At this time, the school board reorganizational meeting is adjourned, and the time is 4:08. Congratulations.
Yep, so we'll take a quick break so we can move around a little bit.
That's good.
Special Martin School Board Leasing Corporation meeting to order. The corporation's bylaws require that the annual meeting of the membership and the board of directors be held on the same date as the annual reorganizational meeting of the school board. We have a few items to approve tonight. Do I have a motion to approve item 4.01, the appointment of the school board members of the Corporation Board of Directors?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Powers and a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do I have a motion to approve item 4.02? Minutes
moved.
of, thank you.
Sorry.
Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion by Ms. Powers and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right.
So I move approval of item 4.03 to approve the minutes of the Leasing Corporation meeting on November 22nd, 2022.
Do I have a motion? Yep, okay, second. I have a motion by Ms. Powers, a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. There being no further business of the Martin County School Board Leasing Corporation, this meeting is adjourned at 4:11. We will now move to items of consent.
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Powers and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do I have any board member discussion? Seeing none, we will move on. Next up, we have our district update with Ms. Jennifer DeShazo.
Madam Chair and Vice Chair, members of the board, and Superintendent Maine, it's my pleasure to bring you this month's district update. Forget the Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, and Tonys. Martin County knows the evening where the stars truly come out to shine is during the annual Education Foundation of Martin County's Teacher of the Year Awards Gala. This year's ceremony, held November 3rd at the Mid-Florida Credit Union Event Center, set the excitement bar higher than ever before. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the Education Foundation of Martin County's Teacher of the Year Award celebration.
One of my favorites each year, this event encapsulates a sense of magic, inspiration, and each celebration bearing its distinct charm and significance.
Can we give it up to the teachers who decorated all of these tables? They look absolutely amazing.
And as a parent of a couple students, it's truly inspiring to see all the wonderful teachers we have in this county, so thank all of you.
I'm gonna have to take a break because there are so many, are you noticing? There are so many people who support us. Can you hear that?
I extend our deepest gratitude to tonight's program sponsors. Your generosity has crafted an evening that is not only special, but impactful. I stand here in awe of the dedication, passion, and unwavering commitment displayed by our outstanding Teachers of the Year. And only in Martin County can you teach all day and give it your very best and still have the energy that you have tonight here.
We don't just teach math, grammar, chemistry, or debate. We teach character, values, and the skills that will enable our students to face the world with confidence. And I don't know about you, but that sounds like the work of a superhero to me.
On behalf of the Education Foundation of Martin County and the Martin County School District, it is my pleasure to announce this year's Spirit Award winner is Bessie Creek Elementary! Announce the winner of the 23-24 Elementary School Teacher of the Year to Mr. Joshua Perry. Announce the 23-24 Middle School Teacher of the Year to Joy Castañas. The 23-24 High School Teacher of the Year, Kyle Gorton, South Park High School. It's the winner of this year's 2023-24 Martin County Teacher of the Year, Mr. Joshua Perry.
I observe Mr. Perry to have a special connection with every one of his students. He made all his students feel seen and heard.
I mean, I know test scores are important, and I know making sure they're handling their business in school, getting their schoolwork, but making connections with kids and impact, that's what I do best. I know I can confidently say that's what I do best in building relationships, and that's what it's all about.
Tonight is your night. Let the celebration, the applause, and the recognition continue as we honor and cherish each of you who make an incredible mark on our students' lives. Cheers to our phenomenal Martin County educators. Thank you.
And we're honored to have Mr. Perry of Crystal Lake Elementary School represent the Martin County School District in the Florida Department of Education's statewide recognition program. Let's give him a round of applause. To our parents in the audience or anyone watching from home, are your child's outfit choices and dress code a frequent topic of conversation? That's a rhetorical question, but know that we understand the struggle is real. Jensen Beach High School's leadership and student government students helped create this handy video to illustrate the do's and don'ts of our student dress code. So let's give our Jensen Beach High School students a round of applause for that teenager-approved dress code guide. "27 outstanding employees." Oops, let me go back. There we go. 27 outstanding employees were honored during the Martin County School District's annual School-Related Employee of the Year ceremony last week. The event was held at the Stewart Corinthian Yacht Club in Port Salerno. Our school-related employees play a vital role in ensuring all students are successful in their education. The Florida Department of Education's School-Related Employee of the Year program recognizes outstanding educational support personnel for the significant contributions they make to their schools or departments. Ms. Denise Chesler, who's pictured on the screen, is a paraprofessional at Jensen Beach High School. She was named the district's overall school-related Employee of the Year. A valued member of the Jensen Beach High School community since 2016, Ms. Chesler is known for her ability to tackle any challenge and willingness to assist her colleagues, students, and families wherever needed. Her name will be submitted to the Florida Department of Education for consideration in the state-level recognition program. Denise is always willing to go the extra mile to help make our school a wonderful place for students, staff, parents, and community, Principal Lori Vogel shared. If there is something she doesn't know, she does her best to find out that information and gets back to the person asking, also posting the information for others to see and learn from as well. Ms. Chesler is a bright and personable individual who sets the standard for school spirit, said David Searfoss, an exceptional student education staffing specialist. She participates in all school dress-up days and activities with a smile on her face and is a valued team member who, without her, we would not be able to function at our school the way that we do. I encourage the community to visit our website at martinschools.org to view the complete list of school and department nominees for this year. Their unwavering support, tireless efforts, and remarkable enthusiasm create a positive and nurturing environment within each of our schools. Let's give them a round of applause. Culminating our November to Remember here in the Martin County School District was the announcement of our 23-24 Assistant Principal and Principal of the Year award winners last Friday. Ms. Tiffany Roth of Bessie Creek Elementary School has been selected as our Assistant Principal of the Year, and Ms. Lauren Gifford of Port Salerno Elementary School was selected as our Principal of the Year. When describing these outstanding leaders, Superintendent Main had this to say: Ms. Roth is quite simply a natural leader. She's a team player who is known for pitching in wherever a helping hand is needed on her campus and is extremely well respected by students, families, teachers, and colleagues throughout the district. If you look up the word committed in the dictionary, the associated definition would describe Principal Gifford. She is dedicated to the growth of all students, faculty, and staff, and is the biggest cheerleader for all. I am honored to work alongside these exceptional leaders and proud to have each representing our district in the statewide recognition program. Let's give them both a round of applause. And you can find both of the surprise announcements that are linked here on our Facebook page, where their families and loved ones joined us for a staff meeting on Friday and surprised them with the news that they had won the awards. As we begin this season of Thanksgiving, the Martin County School District has a plethora of moments, people, and partnerships to be thankful for. As part of our commemoration of this season of appreciation, we're highlighting some of the Martin moments of gratitude on social media that have made this year magical. We began November by extending our deepest gratitude and appreciation to our heroes, United States veterans. Schools throughout the district hosted special performances to honor the brave men and women who have served our great nation to preserve our liberty and freedoms. Let's take a look at this compilation video featuring ceremonies from Seawind Elementary, Bessie Creek Elementary, Warfield Elementary, and Felix A. Williams Elementary.
The 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918, World War I ended. Today we come together as a school family in respect and gratitude for all of our veterans. Thank you for protecting our freedoms. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. A veteran is a person who has honorably served in the active military and then was discharged or released.
I'm old enough to remember a time when veterans were not celebrated. And it really is wonderful to see that they're being acknowledged now for their efforts, and we appreciate it. Before I go on, can I ask all the veterans and the parents in the audience to stand, please?
We are thankful, rest and peace, for our land of liberty. We are thankful, it is true. We love our red, white, and blue. We thank our veterans for protecting us and stepping up when our country needed them most. Thank you, veterans.
give our veterans a round of applause. Until next time, happy Thanksgiving, and you can find us wherever you scroll.
Thank you, Jen. Mr. Main, our superintendent's update?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Pleasure to give the November 21st superintendent's update. First, before I begin, I would like to, delighted to share the news that one of our assistant superintendents of student support services, Ms. Lisa Estevez, has successfully defended her doctoral dissertation earlier this month. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Estevez on this remarkable achievement. We appreciate her dedication, her hard work, and scholarly commitment. They reflect not only a significant personal milestone, but also the strength and excellence of our Martin County School District team. So thank you. Next month, I have requested that Dr. Riviota and Dan Moore workshop some key changes in our state accountability system, particularly as they relate to to our ESSA subgroups and those that are falling below the 41% threshold and impact overall school grades for the 23-24 school year. We will look forward to their review of this information in December, and I think that would be very important for the community to come out and join that conversation. I'd also like to welcome two new leaders to the Martin County School District. First up, our Director of Safety and Security. We're honored and excited to welcome Mr. P.J. Morgan to the Martin County School District. Mr. Morgan brings over 20 years of valuable experience from his distinguished service with the NYPD, coupled with the past 3 years devoted to ensuring the safety of students and staff as an officer with the Palm Beach School District Police Department. His extensive knowledge of law enforcement, coupled with a deep understanding of the intricacies of school safety, positions him as an asset to the school district. Mr. Morgan, if you will please stand and be recognized. I believe he is here with his family and his children. They attend our school district, and we are very happy to have him. Mr. Morgan's expertise extends to Florida's safe school assessment requirements, and his proficiency in school policing is evident through his focus on building positive relationships with students and colleagues. Welcome aboard, Mr. Morgan. Thank you. And without further ado, our new Coordinator of Public Information and Community Relations, we are honored and excited to welcome Mr. Derek Lowe to our Martin County School District. Mr. Lowe is a familiar face to many in our community, as he has served as WPTV News Channel 5's Treasure Coast and reported from 2020 to 2023. A proud native of the Treasure Coast, Mr. Lowe completed his high school education in St. Lucie County before pursuing a degree in political science from the University of Central Florida. His passion for storytelling and commitment to keeping our community informed make him an invaluable asset to our school district. Mr. Lowe, if you'll please stand and be recognized. Congratulations. Having collaborated with Mr. Lowe on numerous stories during his tenure as a reporter with WPTV, our staff has experienced his talents firsthand. We are confident that his dedication and expertise will play a pivotal role in ensuring that all Martin County School District stakeholders feel connected to and informed about the daily happenings and initiatives throughout the district. So welcome aboard, sir. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, I would like to wish all of our students, families, teachers, and staff a very blessed Thanksgiving, and I look to having all of you back safely here on Monday. So rest and recharge and enjoy time with your families. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Main, and welcome aboard, Mr. Morgan and Mr. Lowe. We're excited to have you both. All right, are there any questions from the board for any of the other information share or any of the other information-only reports? All right, seeing none, we will move on to board member, information share. Mrs. Powers?
Yes, I just attached the approved FSBA legislative platform just for everyone. It was approved between our last meeting and now, so really just for information if you have any questions. I know we're still working on the, and I'll be kind of giving a little update to the superintendent soon about the deregulation piece, legislation that's happening right now. It's really exciting. So we have an opportunity to go and support that in Tallahassee. So I'm looking forward to that on behalf of Martin County. So I'll keep you all informed about that.
Thank you. Okay, it's not quite time yet for our public comment, but we can go ahead and get started if everyone's okay with that. And then if anyone comes in after, they can join us as they come in. Citizen input is vital to the improvement of our district. Most times, your remarks may be listened to without comment from the board members or superintendent. This does not mean they are heard with any less intensity or concern. Where appropriate, the superintendent and staff will investigate your comments and report back to you and the board with an answer. We thank you for taking the time and having the concern to make our district better. Your presentation to the board should not exceed 3 minutes. First up, Dr. Robert Hess.
Thank you for this time. I am Dr. Robert Hess, nurse of 50 years, educator of 30, organizational theorist, award-winning writer of 2 books and 200 articles. And at the last board meeting, I voiced some concern that a book by Jodi Picoult, Change of Heart, was removed from shelves. And I noted that most of the books that were removed from the shelves were recommended by the Moms for Liberty. I am not a Mom for Liberty, although I'm not sure what it takes to be one, seeing that there's this guy in Philadelphia who's a registered sex offender, and he's the leader of the Philadelphia chapter. But I am a Gold Star parent, and I can tell you what you need to do to be one of those. So I'm concerned that my request is not going to get the same attention that the other requests got. And so I will be showing up frequently to ask what the progress is on reshelving this essential book, I think, that should be required reading for high school students. Thank you for your time, and that's all I have to say, really.
Thank you. Next up, James Gamble.
Good evening. My name is James Gamble, and I am a resident of Stuart. And I recently reached out to the board via emails in reference to establish an ad hoc committee to find solutions to the issue of removable books from the school libraries to the tune of, I believe, about 94 books, and other issues that are of concern to the community. I've witnessed this over the last few meetings that I've attended, and I really believe that the Martin County School District has the potential for excellence from what I've observed and based on my experience. However, I have been concerned about what I've been seeing going on in reference to what I perceive to be some mistrust within the community over certain issues. And I think that gets into the way of achieving excellence, and that needs to be addressed. So this evening, I'm very pleased to learn that the school administration is open to the establishment of such an ad hoc committee. I think it could be a move in the right direction. I think it could be a move to help build on transparency. I hope it can be a move to build on trust and maintain that trust within this school district. This is an amazing community, and moving here recently, we just love being residents of Stuart, and I'm always interested in education. And again, as I said, I really believe this school district does have the potential. We just need to work on making sure that we engage the entire community and build that trust. That's very important, and make sure that we're as transparent as possible. And I believe this formation of this ad hoc committee has the potential to do that. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Chad Fair.
Madam Chair, Superintendent Maine, thank you for the opportunity. Ms. Russell, Ms. Pritchett, congratulations on your new assignment. Best luck over the coming year. Being that it's Thanksgiving, or nearly Thanksgiving, I thought I would come and offer a bit of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving for our amazing school staff that do the work behind the scenes but don't often get the credit. I think we need to recognize and give thanks to them. Also, a huge thanks to our teachers. Our teachers put in, as Mr. Main said, will work all day and still show up because it's what they're called to do as part of their profession, and they should be commended for that. And they should also be paid for that. Not paid for that time, but as the contract negotiations come up, I hope that you remember all those kinds words, that you have sort of given praise to the teachers and the faculty for all the hard work that they do. With hard work should come the pay that goes with it. My daughter and I left one of the recent negotiation meetings, and my daughter said to me, "Daddy, who won?" I said, "Oh, sweetie, I'm sorry, the teachers never actually win." And she said, well, why? Like, if we don't have an education, we can't have doctors and we can't have lawyers and we can't have accountants and all these other jobs if we don't have an education. From the mouth of an 11-year-old, because she gets it. And she's seen the love and the support and the dedication of every one of her teachers that she's been blessed to have. But each year, when it comes time for the negotiations of the contracts, the teachers get stiffed. And at some point, if we want to be that #1 school district in the state, we've got to pay the resources that matter. Buildings are nice, teachers teach. We've got to support the teachers. 44%, I believe it is, retention rate over the last 4 years. Any business would be appalled by that number. Appalled. And we just call it kind of the cost of doing business, and well, that's the world we live in right now. It's not acceptable. We lose good teachers. We lose them to surrounding counties, not because it's a better environment, because they can't afford to live here and they can't afford to work here. I hope when that time comes to negotiate that contract, you remember all of the hard work. They are indeed stars. They should be paid like it. Thank you.
Thank you. Julie Priest?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and honorable members of the board and staff. I am a historical research volunteer. I have been assisting the Martin County Black Heritage Initiatives Group with the research for the 1934 Salerno Colored Schoolhouse, which is located across the street from the Murray School. Very briefly, it was constructed in 1934 with Civil Works Administration New Deal funding, and then in 1967, it was moved to behind the Murray School to help with the desegregation of schools, and then in 1980, it was moved in front of the Murray School to its current location. A lease agreement between the school board and Martin County was created for New Monrovia Park in 1984, and then in 1986, the schoolhouse was transferred from the school board to Martin County. So Martin County actually owns the structure of the schoolhouse, which they have completely, essentially reconstructed, but you own the land. And I'm here because we received a letter after compiling all the history. The original white paper was put together with Joette Rice, who is a longtime member of the Martin County Historic Preservation Board, with the assistance of historian Sandy Thurlow. And on June 26th of this year, after we sent all of the historical information, close to 500 petition signatures in support of placing the schoolhouse on the National Register of Historic Places, plus your letter of support and other multiple letters of support, the project was declined. It was deemed uneligible for the historic places, and their reasoning is, I'd like to read it to you directly. When we evaluate properties for individual listing on the National Register, we are evaluating three things: age, significance, and the 7 aspects of integrity: location, setting, design, materials, workmanship, feeling, and association. Although this building is the right age, it is locally significant and maintains strong feelings and association. It has not lost nearly all of its original design, material, setting, and workmanship integrity. What they said was that the building had been reconstructed to be frank, 3 original interior walls remain and some of the floor joists. Everything else was essentially reconstructed. And then, of course, the building was moved and it was not placed. Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't get to my point. Let me quickly ask. I need, if you don't mind, a letter of support once again for a historical marker to be placed on the site. If you could just direct me as to who to contact. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. All right, next up, Heather Rogers.
Madam Chair, if I can just, if you will reach out to me, ma'am, I will get you in contact with the appropriate person. Thank you. I'll get with you after the meeting.
Good evening, Superintendent and board members. I am here to speak on behalf of Dr. Aiken. It is my understanding that you will be making a decision in regards to Dr. Aiken tonight. I highly recommend Dr. Timothy Aiken for the exceptional work and dedication he has shown in his role as principal. As a parent of a student under Dr. Aiken's leadership, I have had the privilege of witnessing Dr. Aiken's leadership, compassion, and commitment to the school community. Dr. Aiken has consistently demonstrated an unwavering passion for education and a deep concern for the well-being of his students and staff. His ability to create a positive, nurturing environment within the school is truly commendable. Dr. Aiken fosters a sense of belonging and inclusivity, making every student feel valued and respected. Moreover, Dr. Aiken has been instrumental in implementing various educational initiatives that have improved the academic performance and overall experience for all of Martin County's students. His strong leadership has led to noticeable positive change in the school's culture and atmosphere. As a parent, I have personally witnessed the approachability and accessibility of Dr. Aiken. He is always willing to engage with parents, listen to concerns, and work collaboratively to address any issues that may arise. This open and transparent communication has greatly contributed to a sense of partnership between school and parents. I firmly believe that Dr. Aiken is an exceptional principal who has not only maintained high educational standards, but has also created a warm and nurturing environment for students. Dr. Aiken has gone above and beyond in his role to ensure the success and well-being of all students. I wholeheartedly recommend Dr. Aiken for any further opportunities or responsibilities within the field of education, as his dedication, leadership, and passion are truly commendable. Dr. Aiken has had a positive impact on our school community, and I'm confident that he will continue to excel in his career. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Victoria Deffenthaler.
Good evening, Victoria Deffenthaler, retired teacher, administrator, and former school board member. I saw the news story about the discipline of an administrator, specifically Dr. Aiken, in our school district, that our school district provided to Channel 12 News. There are circumstances around the so-called investigation and the conclusions in this matter that are questionable and suspicious. To have a parent who was not involved speak about the specifics of the incident and events and express her opinion regarding the outcome at a school board meeting even before the district completed its investigation was concerning. It created a climate of distrust about the motive of the district, who was behind it, and the direction the district was going in. And then today, the same questionable person shares a post with the heading, "Another one bites the dust. Do the crime, pay the time." Makes you wonder, who will be the next target? During your last meeting, information was presented regarding the outcomes of a survey about teacher retention, and you as a district and board acted concerned and indicated you want to take steps to retain teachers. However, you've created a climate of mistrust and fear that teachers could see jail time for something they might say or that a parent takes issue with, and the possibility of trumped-up charges. It makes you wonder how supportive you all are of public educators. You are especially when you are willing to destroy the reputations of lifelong educators. I worked in the district for 35 years, and I have witnessed a lot. I know of another superintendent and district staff members who were complicit in situations that caused harm to members of their staff, and I also know, in the end, good versus evil and good won. and the superintendent and district staff paid for the crime. So I am hopeful that after all the evidence sees the light of day, and if the situation was not handled appropriately, it will come out, and in the end, the right person will be vindicated.
Thank you. That concludes public comment, and now we will move on to our action-only items. Item number 20.01, school board travel. See that there's none. So we're going to go ahead and move on to 20.02, which is school advisory council memberships.
Move approval of 20.02.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Powers and a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.03, which is requisitions to be approved for purchase orders over 100,000.
Move approval.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Powers and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 20.04, request approval to extend MCSD RFP number 5001-02015JC District Banking Services. Are there any questions from the board? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second. I just have a quick comment. So this is a request to extend the banking services beyond, I think the last time we went out to bid on our banking services, it's been probably more than 5 years. It's probably time that we go through that process again. We're a big customer, so I think that we should kind of solicit what's out there if we can save some money. I think the 6 months will give adequate time for that to take place.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
I
All right.
agree.
All right, I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett and a second by Ms. Powers. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously.
And so just to be clear, our direction is that we will go out to bid within the next 6 months for banking services, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Madam Chair. I'd probably say within the next 2 months, because it's going to take some time. I don't want to start a bid process in the 6 month.
Right.
So we just need enough time to go through that and make sure all our Ts are crossed and Is are dotted. So in 6 months, we can either award it to them or whoever else. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that the
Thank you.
pleasure of the board, 2 months or 6?
Well, it needs to be completed within the next 6 months.
Whatever it's going to
with-
take to
with
do that.
extension, within that extension period.
All right, thank you.
Could I request to hear from our purchasing person, please?
Renee?
Hi, Board Chair, members of the Board, Superintendent Main, Director of Purchasing Renee Hayes. The extension, the purpose of it is to complete the RFP process within that period of time so we can award it before the expiration of the 6-month extension.
Good.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to, let's see, 22.01. It's our public review of school board policy. Item number 22.01 and our policy number 6320, purchasing and contracting for commodities and contractual services. Do I have any questions from the board? Do I have a motion?
We should probably ask for comment from the public on this one.
All right. Is there any comment from the public at this time?
I move
Seeing none.
approval of 22.01.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Ms. Powers and a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, do I have any comment or any public comment for item number 22.02? Our policy number 6322, construction, contracting, and bidding. It's a new item. Seeing none, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve 2202.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett and a second by Ms. Powers. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next up is 22.03, policy number 6440, cooperative purchasing. Do I have any public comment at this time? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
So moved. Approval
Second.
of 22.03, policy 6440.
I have a motion by Mr. DiTerlizzi and a second by Ms. Pritchett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item number 22.04, policy number 6540, professional consultant. Do I have any public comment at this time? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Pritchett and a second by Mr. DiTerlizzi. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay. At this time, we are going to be moving on to open to the board. Does anybody
Madam
have-
Chair, I have nothing right now.
Ms. Pritchett? Ms. Powers?
Yes, I would just like to say happy Thanksgiving to all of our staff and my fellow board members. I hope you all enjoy this time with your family and friends, and to celebrate and be thankful for all that we are blessed with in our lives. So thank you all very much for all you do, and I'm very thankful for everything that you do. In addition, I just wanted to clarify with the superintendent, we are not approving anything relative to Mr. Aiken tonight, correct?
That is correct. There is nothing coming before the board for any decision on Mr. Aiken this evening.
Okay, thank you. And then, and that's it, that's all for me.
Okay. I just want to say thank you to Mrs. Powers for being our chair over the last year. I really appreciate your commitment to the district and to the board. I also want to say thank you to my fellow board members for putting your trust in me to lead you over the next year. I really appreciate that. And because we finished this meeting earlier than 5, and there is time certain for public comment, we are going to need to take a small recess until 5, and then we will adjourn. If there's any public comment at that time, we will go from there. So we will take a brief recess. Thank you. reconvene? Yeah. Whew. That's a rookie. All right, we do have one public comment. Elizabeth Crane.
Crane, and thank you to all the school board members and everyone who attends, and I'm so grateful that we have the opportunity, that I have the opportunity to come and speak today. And I've been showing up when I've been in town to talk about the books that they have removed, which I'm very glad most of them have been removed. And I've been really contemplating how our country has gotten to this place to where we would have an agenda to where it makes sense and it's compassionate to actually transition children. It's in the books that they can do this, when really we're mutilating them. And I got to thinking about this, and I thought, you know what? If you have someone who's selling you bullets and they're also selling you Band-Aids, you better wake up, because their interest is what's being elevated, not the interest of the children or the citizen. And what differentiates the Constitution from tyranny is the government and tyranny, which is the administrative state that gets to tell people what to do and demands and can make them do it. You don't like what I say, you walk away, you're not changed by it. I have no power to change you. The administrative state, big difference. And this is what I'm seeing happen, and I'm so glad you all are standing up. But the administrative state thinks the people exist for their benefit. The Constitution says that the government exists for the benefit of the people. And I'd like more people to come and to realize if we do not stand up for these children and push back on these ideas, that we will be overwhelmed by a very destructive agenda that once it takes off, it's a tidal wave. So we speak now or forever hold your peace. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our public comment at this time. We did need to make a clarification. I had for item number 20.04, which was the banking services, I had a motion, I had a second, and we got into discussion. We just want to make sure that everybody is in favor. So do I have?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you. Motion approved. Motion carries unanimously. All right. At this time, there's no other questions from the board. Is there anybody want to say anything? All right. Have a happy and wonderful Thanksgiving, and everyone get some rest. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.